Hello everyone, Hector Mendoza here. In this video, I'm going to provide.
Fly cautiously.
Okay, first of all, before we start, you hear that noise? That noise is going to continue to make that noise every time there's going to be an airplane, anything above us. Okay, so we're going to, now this video is not about that, but while we're here, let me show you how to change that. So if I go to safety, go all the way to the bottom, you see this advanced right here, this advanced safety settings. If I go in here, go to the bottom, you see where it says AirSense. If I click here and I disable that, that's not going to make that noise every time. Now I have another video that will give you the control, um, excuse me, your safety settings, and that's where I just went to. But let's go back to originally what we were going to hear to talk about, and we're going to talk about the control settings. Now, like I was explaining, you're going to get a PDF. This PDF is actually about 100 inches long. It's 8.5 by 100 inches long. Now, I'm also going to provide you this PDF, which is pretty cool. It talks about your Air, Air Mavic 2, Mavic 2. Um, you can go and click here and change. Let's say you want to go to page 32. You can just click there and go to page 32. Let's say you want to go to page 33. Or let's say you wanted to go to your, where the contents are, which I know is page 3 because I use this a lot. Now that we're in contents, something that you can do, let's say you're going through the contents of this PDF and you want to know where flight, when you don't want to know, you want to get to page 11, which is flight modes. If you click here, make sure that that hand is showing, because if you see that, it's not going to work. That's not going to work. You have to see that little hand. If that little hand shows up, if you click on it, you're going to notice it's going to go to page 11. See, it went to page 11. You can tell by this thing here. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that about the PDF. Now let's talk about this PDF that I created for y'all. Not just for y'all, but for me. What this is going to allow you to do, you can download this PDF, put it on your hard drive, take it down on, you can upload it to your iPhone or your Android or your iPad, okay? And you'll be able to look at the PDF and look at all the settings that are associated with the control part of that settings, okay? Remember, you have safety, control, camera, transmission, and about. Now, there's a lot of other settings that we'll talk about later, and I'll create PDFs to make it easier for us. But for right now, let me show you how this thing works. So I have my iPhone connected to my laptop. My controller is connected to my drone. That's why we're able to see this right here. Okay, so we're going to talk about, and we're just going to talk real briefly, units. I use Imperial. You can use metric, which is meters, metric, which is kilometers. Okay. Uh, Subject scanning. I actually use, here, let's go to subject scanning here. Okay. So I actually use, I keep it like that. Okay. That's actually how I like using it. Uh, Gimbal calibration. We're not going to do that right now, but what you would do on Gimbal calibration is you would go in here, click here, which was that little arrow, and you would click on auto. When auto once you click on auto, you can see this dialog box or circle. When it's done, it'll go to 100%, and then it says calibration successful. And you really want to do this. You want to do this periodically, okay? I do. I don't know if we're supposed to, but I always do it because I want to know that my drone is calibrated. I don't want it going off 2-3 miles because I use my drone 3 miles away, and I want it to be calibrated. So this is how you would do it manually. I've never done it manually, so I'm not even going to talk about that, okay? Um, so the next thing we'll talk about is your advanced settings. So if you go to game, let's go back to, here. Let's go to advanced gimbal settings. So what this is talking about is your gimbal. And also, it doesn't say it, but it's also talking about how you rotate your drone sideways, like counterclockwise or clockwise. So basically, you have 3 modes. You got your normal, you got your scene smooth, and then you have your sport mode. Okay, so each one of them can be set independently. These are my settings. If you're a beginner, you ought to try this. You might like it, you might not. I think you're going to like it. Uh, this gives you a smooth transition on your gimbal. Okay, so I have mine set for my pitch to be 4, my pitch smoothness to be 14, and my yaw speed to be 35. Remember, yaw speed means how your drone rotates counterclockwise or clockwise. Okay, and you're doing it all through your stick. And here's the rest of my settings for my Cinemax and Sport mode. So I don't want to talk too much about it. You can always hit reset, and it's gonna reset everything for you. So that was your events. So if you go to phone, so right here on the PDF, if you click to the right, if you click right here, it's going to change your phone set charging. It's like you can charge up your phone using the controller by clicking here. I don't do that because I want my controller to always have the right charging, and that thing actually lasts for a long time. When if my controller is ever low, I'm just going to send my drone back home. Okay. So now the next thing we're going to talk about is stick mode. Okay. I use the number 2. You have model 1, 2, 3, and custom. I use the number 2. So basically what you would do is you would click right here with your finger, and you'd have mode 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like I said, I use number 2. I'm going to switch it over to number 3 so you can see that it's going to give you this little dialog box. Okay, so don't. All you have to do is hit OK. Otherwise, it's not going to let you change it. All it's doing is telling you changing the control stick mode modifies the use of the control stick and changes the way the aircraft is operated. Confirm whether you understand this change and fly with caution. If you hit cancel, it's not going to change. So you only have one option. If you really want to get it done, you can have to hit OK. So let's go to, now look at my iPhone here. I'm going to click on mode, and you see that thing gave you the dialog box. I'm going to hit cancel. Nothing happened. I'm going to go back, And this time I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm on mode 3. So, but I wanted mode 2 because that's what I like using. Now here's your mode 1. Here's your mode 2. And all it's doing is changing the way your drone stick, how it operates. So you have a left stick and you have a right stick. So let me show you the difference between mode 1 and 2. If you use 1, the right hand stick, when you push it up, it ascends, okay, which is the opposite of, okay, I hate when that happens. Okay, so um, it just moves your it changes the way your stick is going to work. So like I said, the one I like is mode 2. I believe it was the this how the drone came. So I memorized that. But you got to memorize how this thing's going to operate. I wouldn't be changing it around otherwise, unless if you have a photographic memory, then it's going to be hard to remember that if you push the stick up, it's either going to ascend, descend, turn left, turn right, because uh, like I was saying earlier, you can actually change it. Well, this is your manual mode. At that point, you can change it any way you want. You can click here and it'll turn to the left. You can click here and turn to the right, because at that point you can change any one of those settings. So depends on how your mind works, you can change it any way you want. Now, the next thing we'll talk would be, oh, okay, your button customization. Okay, what that is, your controller, which is this is your controller. You see to the left, there's a small little button. It's not yellow, it's actually black, but it's just showing you where the button is. When you click there, it can do certain things. Okay, and so you can tap once and it'll do this, or you can double tap it. The same settings can be set for your double tap. On both of them, when I tap that, I want it to recenter my gimbal. Now you have all these other options you can get that little button to do. Okay, so now you also have advanced settings. Okay, which is this right here. So if you go to advanced settings, you have your normal and you have your sports settings. That PDF shows you those. I've never messed with that, so I'm not even going to try to explain what that is. I have an idea, but until I play with it, I don't want to talk about it. And then the last thing is you have this thing, flight tutorial, right here. So if I click here on my iPhone, it's going to give you some tutorials, right? With my finger, I can push it to the left, go to the next tutorial, push it to the left, get to the next tutorial, push it to the left, and then I can, at this point, I can do a start pre-flight check. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to skip it. And then uh, I'm going to confirm, and then it gets me back. Anyway, guys, I hope this PDF will help you. It's helped me a lot. I actually can operate my drone a lot better because I have this and I don't have to have the drone connected or turned on. I don't have to put my iPhone on my controller and then connect everything together, I can actually look at this PDF and memorize what where the settings are, where I can get to things. Thank you for watching my video. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, and hopefully you'll become a subscriber. I teach a lot of programs like Word, Excel, Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator. Uh, I teach Exactamente, Symbility. Uh, later on, I've been for 26 years. I've been a plumber. I've done air conditioning. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff I've done. I'm 62 years old, so I'm an old guy, man. So I've done a lot of weird stuff. I can't thank you enough for watching my videos, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Have a great day.